Good morning, class. In today's lesson, we are going to discuss on one Ghanaian proficient artist. To the overview, introduction, we talk about the background of the artist. We talk about his inspiration, his philosophy, his techniques, styles, work of the artist, the aesthetic description of the artist's work, and conclusion. Now we move on to introduction. Now we'll talk about what a proficient artist or who a proficient artist is. Now from Wikipedia, a proficient artist is known to be a person with high knowledge or skill in the field of art. Narrowly, we have had many proficient Ghanaian artists from various art fields, which some include Jonathan Agri, who is one of our finest watercolor painter. We have Betty Aqua, who is a painter. We have Patrick Kwam, who is also a painter. We go to Sege Atukwe Clote, who is a sculptor and a painter as well. We move on to Bright Tete Aqua, who is a painter, and to Cole Nkrumah, who is also a painter. All of them creatively work with different techniques and style in their body of art. This has given them unique identity and exposure on the globe. Now the artist in perspective, Cole Nkrumah. Now we move on to the background of the artist. From the place of birth, he was born in Cape Coast, to be precise, Abura. Date of birth, he was born in 27 June 1990, and he is the firstborn among 4 siblings. On his education, he had his basic and secondary education in Cape Coast, namely St. Lawrence Basic School and University Practice Senior High School in 2005 and 2008 respectively. He had his higher national diploma in commercial art, option painting at Takoradi Polytechnic, now Takoradi Technical University, in 2015. He had his first degree in art education at the University of Education, Winneba, 2019, and currently pursuing his MPhil in art education at the University of Education, Winneba. Now we move on to his careers and achievements. He is an art teacher at the St. Peter Senior High School in Kwawu, in Kwetia, at the Visual Arts Department. He is also an industrial and a fine painter. He was part of the selected artists to exhibit at Maiden and Second DFIA Arts Exhibition in 2015. He was also part of the selected artists to be part of the Return of the Slaves, which is a body exhibition which was organized at the Elmina Castle in the year 2015 by KNUST and the Black Star Lines. Now we go to what inspires him. And in his inspiration, he gets his inspiration from music and nature, because these are arenas that helps him in communicating what life is all about. He also captures nature around him that helps people to identify his basic impression. He sees the concept of cultural fusion well projected in the use of musical instruments, which is the foreign and the traditional instrument. Now, what is his philosophy? He strongly believes that finding yourself in any given environment, whether natural or artificial, Cole has more to create, provided he opens his eye beyond the normal horizon in creative space. space. On to the techniques he employs in his work. We have the sfumato, we have the marbling, we have the glazing, we have the dry brush, we have the impasto, and the mixed media. Now his style. He usually uses contrasting colors. His major subject matter that runs through his musical theme works are local and traditional against foreign musical instruments. The use of compact decks to create focus in his painting is always obvious. He captures nature with the help of painting knives to create heavy texture. Now we'll move on to some of his artworks under his musical theme of painting, titled Abrabo Safwa, that literally means keys of life, size 80 centimeters by 100, year 2020, and the techniques he employs in his work or in the work of art is mixed media, impasto, glazing, sfumato, and the dry brush. Now we have another painting which is Treme. That literally means lean on me, which measures 55 centimeters by 70 centimeters and which was also executed in the year 2019. And the techniques employed in this work as mixed media, dry brush, the marbling, the brush, and the sfumato. Now we have another painting which is titled Ahotoso. That literally means assurance, which measures 90 by 60 centimeters and also was employed in the year 2015. And the technique used was mixed media, marbling, flat, and dry brush. Now we move on to our last work under the musical theme, which is Womfreye. That literally means a call for harmony. It measures 90 by 100 centimeters. In the year 2016, that is when the work was being done, and the techniques involved in the work of art as mixed media, the dry brush, the glazing, and the sfumato. Now we move on to the nature theme of his painting. One of the artwork which is displayed over here is Abrabo Ashasie. That literally means the beginning of life. It also measures 80 by 100 centimeters and it was also employed in the year 2016, and the techniques involving as impasto and the sfumato painting technique. Now move on to the other work under nature, which is Anopa Nanti. That literally means morning stroll. It measures 80 by 100 centimeters, executed in the year 2016 with the techniques of impasto and sfumato. Now we move on to another painting style or another artwork titled Abrabo Safwa. That literally means keys of life. It measures 80 by 150 centimeters and was also executed in the year 2015. And the techniques involved as impasto, sfumato, and dry brush. Now we move on to our last nature of his painting, titled Obotantim, literally means Rock of Ages. Size 90 by 100 centimeters, year 2017, and the techniques involved as impasto, dry brush, and sfumato. Now we move on to the aesthetic description of the artist's work under the musical theme painting. Now the work displays over here talks a lot, And as music cannot be taken away from one's life and the life of the artist, who is Nkrumah. Nkrumah art portrays one of the elements of culture that comes with music and painting. His painting title, Abrabo Safwa, which literally means keys of life. It is a mixed media artwork, thus acrylic, compact text on canvas, and it measures 80 by 100 centimeters. It is now situated at Pax Romana UCC, and it was produced in the year 2020. At the first glance of the work, precisely suggests two instruments to be keyboard and the xylophone laced with each other. He captured both our traditional and modern instruments in the painting, suggesting cultural fusion theory. Xylophone, which consists of the wooden bat struck by mallet and gauges, are mostly used by the modern people of Ghana during occasions. The subject or the suggested elongated xylophone and keyboard in the painting looks curved from one point that moves towards the compact disc at the top right corner, which creates a focal point in the painting. The painting is garbed with contrasting colors, dominating orange, blue, forming the background. In the background looks like a representation of some musical notes and suggested a dinkra symbol, which is the jinyame, positioned diagonally opposite each other. The work also suggests the use of glazing, dry brush, and the impasto techniques. The work is technically balanced in two of the work form when you symmetrically divide the work horizontally. Reading can be sensed by the sequential order of arrangement in the work and the elongated keyboard and xylophone. The painting suggests an idea of how we need dialogue as one of the core elements in culture fusion to achieve oneness in our society. Now we move on. Another aesthetic description of the artwork, which is the nature theme painting. The forces of nature makes existence of demanding and uncertain adventure in one's life. Nkrumah painting, Abrabo Ashasie, which literally means the beginning of life. It measures 80 by 100 centimeters and was executed in the year 2016. The work is now situated at Holy Child Senior High School. At the prayer room, the artist paints a village setting surrounded with colorful vegetation, suggesting as the title. The suggested buildings in the painting looks like the hat covered with stripes of dried palm trees or leaves, aligned with each other in a foreshortening pattern with a laid vegetation which comprises of the grasses, the weeds, the dried trees surrounding the hat. The foreground of the painting renders a scene of rocky path showing a mixture of both warm and cool colors, creating the impasto feeling of texture appearing on the canvas. In the painting, various principles such as balance, harmony, contrast, proportion were well observed in the work, taking in consideration colors, line, textures with the use of sfumato as part of the technique used. The painting suggests an idea as stated in the title that each and every one started or comes from a small beginning. Now, he always have a saying that practice makes one perfect. So in our conclusion, there is a saying that practice makes one perfect or makes a man perfect. Indeed, it is true. For you to become a proficient artist does not revolve around just the name, but constant practice. It gives you mastery in knowledge and skill in your area of specialization. So class, we end today's topic. And till then, we close our curtains down and we say bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Vamos.